All right, we're gonna do this in one take. So I've always wanted to do one of these videos. I haven't been vlogging in a while, so you're gonna have to forgive me as I get the rust off. But I want to talk about boots. I want to talk about what I've been experiencing since basic training up until. So I was in basic training in 2019 at Fort Jackson. It's 2025. I've since have done numerous rucks. I've walked well over 12 miles, probably 20 to 30 miles in a day. I've done several timed rucks. I've done weighted runs through beach sand and trail runs. So I've had all sorts of issues with my feet, from like plantar fasciitis, which sucked. For anybody who has it, it's the worst feeling. It's like when you step off your bed in the morning, it's as if here's a knife. All right. So it's like this goes through the bottom of your foot. That's exactly how it felt. Every night, every morning, I would wake up, my feet feel fine in bed. I'd step off of my bed. As soon as my foot hit the ground, boom, just right underneath the arch of the foot. Worst pain in my life. It was like glass. And only after walking on it for a few minutes would it then stop hurting, only to repeat throughout the day. That was the worst. Plantar fasciitis is the worst. I'll talk about how I got over that, which is essentially through an insole. And I've had shin splints and sore muscles in my calves. I've had, just like pain just all throughout the foot. So blisters as well. I've experienced all of that. So let's talk about boots. Okay, so my go-tos, this is not in any order. I literally just grabbed this off my rack. So these are my boots that I love. They don't make them anymore when I checked the website. These are the Merrells. I don't even know the model. They're like a lightweight. It's gonna be horrible for people who actually know products, but these are super lightweight. And I don't know. I think they're pretty durable, but I put these things through the ringer. So yeah, these are my, I don't know, featherweight. I wish I knew the brand, the model, but yeah, Merrell's my go-to for that. The reason I got into these, I had a Navy SEAL buddy who was deploying a ton before I joined the Army, and he was saying all the team guys wore Merrell's. And so I'm just a huge nerd. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're a Navy SEAL. I want to be like you. And so I totally bought those. Let's see what else. These are another set of Merrell's, but they're Gore-Tex. The lining here. So these are winter boots. So again, Merrell's. I get my boots super nasty and dirty, but yeah, these have some of the most bougie lining I've ever felt inside of a boot. Like I don't even know what it's made of. It's this pretty cotton. And yeah, so 400 gram insulation, I guess is what you call it. I had no idea. I know nothing about boots other than I know what feels right on my feet. But yeah, these are Merrell's as well. They're a little heavier than my other ones because they are winter boots. So I'd say it's, yeah, pretty heavy compared to, still lighter than the next one I'll talk about, which is Rockies. These are like a brick. You can also probably just step on anything. This makes you feel like a tank. My least worn boots. These are, because they're so heavy, just like, man, this reminds me of basic training. These are the boots. This feels exactly like what I got when I was at Fort Jackson. That was issued to me. But yeah, so don't really know what to say other than they're sturdy and they're heavy, and they've got just like no give when it comes to the ankle and the support over your Achilles and whatnot. So it's very much reinforced. The toe box is small on these, so I have wide feet. And man, Rockies are pretty narrow from my experience. Next up, I'll talk about the Garmons. So everybody I know, except for me, who was in the Army, bought these boots. They love this brand. Is it Garmont? Garmont? I don't know how French you'd say it. But the TANFS 670 wide. So again, I buy wide boots. The Merrell's, I purchased wide, and those toe boxes are huge. Phenomenal. And this one, even though it is wide, still a little bit narrow for me. I like the boot, very light, and yeah, great tread. I mean, I'm not using these yet until I break my Merrells. So once I go through those and the sole starts peeling off, then I'll go ahead and put these on next, because I just like lightweight. It feels just phenomenal. Love that freedom of movement. These two boots, super heavy. I think they're both gonna be my winter boots essentially. So the Ultimas, are these Gore-Tex? Let me see if these are Gore-Tex. So again, wide. I buy everything wide. But yeah, these are pretty new. What I like about these, because I work in a environment that has a lot of metal that you can bump up against, and these toes right here are reinforced. So the other boots that I showed you don't have that. These guys have protection up here, so you can just be as clumsy as you'd like, and you're not gonna get your toes smashed. They're not steel toe or anything, it's just, reinforced. Yeah, these will be my winter boots. They're a little bit thicker, and I was gonna say sturdy, which I'm sure they are, but just stiff, which I don't like. I like my shoes to feel like socks, or my boots to feel like socks. I know it's horrible, because if you're on rough terrain, you can roll ankles and get hurt that way. I haven't yet. I work on mobility. I've had some sketchy steps where, I step on a rock and it just, I've had buddies roll their ankles on stuff where I should have also rolled it. I'd say it's flexibility training that helps me with that, but maybe it's just a matter of time, and then I take a step and I'm out of the game. But also reinforced on the toes here. These are, what brand is this? Solomon's. So yeah, these ones are also pretty comparable to the other ones I just had. I forget what I just showed you, but these are just as I'm looking at a pile of boots right now. I'm such a mess. Quest Forces. Okay, that's cool. These ones I haven't worn too much either. These will be my winter boots. Very thick lining inside. But yeah, friggin' sturdy boot. Nice and stiff, but not what I like. I like it flimsy and sock-like. So those are my boots. I will say one thing that saved my life when it came to the plantar fasciitis that I had was the insoles I purchased. Let's see if they're in here. Yeah, game changer. So this brand, it's Sole, S-O-L-E. Not sponsored or anything. What I like about these is it's hard plastic. So the squishy stuff doesn't work for me. What I need is this hard arch support. And again, it's hard plastic. So once I put these in my boots, plantar fasciitis went away, I'd say within about a week. And I was rucking actively through it. And these felt like a massage, at least for my feet. I don't really have the flattest feet. I have, like, they call it collapsing arches, I guess. They've held for quite a while. My feet, like the arches have not fully collapsed. I don't know if they ever will. Not really sure what that looks like in the future for the prognosis, but I know that the hard insoles made all the difference. It felt like a massage. Every step just felt so much better. Plantar fasciitis went away, and outside of that, no real injuries, no sort of hot spots with these guys. There's no, you can see where I've worn it down. No blisters, like you'd think with it being as deep as that, there could be a blister on the heel. None of that. So I just moved these. These are $40 a pop. I think maybe $50 now. So I only have like two sets of these that I transfer between boots. But ideally, I'd get these in all my shoes, even my running shoes and whatnot. But that's the very quick and dirty and super amateur boot review in my life. And yeah, I guess maybe someday I'll actually learn the products that I'm using, other than these feel like socks and I like walking in them. Okay, cool.